I am now executing this affidavit to provide a comprehensive information to the QUADCOMM regarding everything I personally know about the war on drugs during the former administration. On May 2026, I received a call from the President, Rodrigo Duterte, at approximately 5 a.m., instructing me to meet him at his residence in Tanya Luisa, Davao City, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs at a national level, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and reward. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payment of reward. First is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second, if the funding of planned operations. And the third is the refund of operational expenses. Leonardo subsequently informed me that he had prepared a proposal routed to Bongo outlining the task force which would encompass Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I am afraid of my life, Mr. Chair, and the life of my relatives and my friends and classmates.
On September 27, 2024, I was invited to serve as a resource speaker during the recent legislative inquiry conducted by the Joint Committee on Dangerous Drug, Public Order and Safety, Human Rights and Public Accounts of the Honorable House of Representatives regarding the investigation into the war on drugs of the previous administration. During these hearings, I was asked several questions concerning my knowledge of involvement in the deaths of 2 Chinese inmates of the Davao Penal Colony and the death of General Wesley Barayuga, all focusing on the alleged extrajudicial killings of the aforementioned individuals. I was also questioned about my relationship with the former president, as well as my career as a police officer and my tenure as the general manager of the Philippine Charity Statistics Office. Throughout the hearings, I answered questions from the committee based on my personal knowledge. However, I did so with great apprehension as I recognized that my statements on national television could significantly endanger my life, the safety of my family, and others very close to me. After considerable reflection, I am now executing this affidavit to provide a comprehensive information to the QUADCOMM regarding everything I personally know about the war on drugs during the former administration. On May 2026, I received a call from the President, Rodrigo Duterte, at approximately 5 a.m., instructing me to meet him at his residence in Tanya Luisa, Davao City. I was already acquainted with the mayor, having served as the station commander in one of the police stations in Davao City during his tenure. During our meeting, he requested that I will locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs at a national level, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and reward. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payment of reward. First is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second, if
is the funding of planned operations, and the third is the refund of operational expenses.
Colonel Garma, can you speak louder? I'm sorry, speak closer to the microphone.
Initially, I informed the President that I was unaware of any individual with those qualifications, as I had not been assigned outside of Davao City or had served in the national capacity within the PNP. However, I recalled my classmate Gilberto Leonardo, who was heading the Criminal Investigation Detection Group and was also a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo. I mentioned his name to the President. On the same day, a certain individual named Muking contacted me to request for the phone number of Leonardo's contact details, which I promptly provided. A week later, I learned from Arthur Narsolis via phone call that Sir Leonardo had been summoned and was instructed to proceed to the Royal Manday Hotel in Davao for a meeting. Leonardo informed me later that he stayed at the hotel for almost 3 days, during which the President directed him to organize, according to Sir Leonardo, a task force, which he understood as PAOK-TF. When Leonardo relayed this information, urged me to join the task force, I declined first, citing my lack of experience in handling said operations. Leonardo subsequently informed me that he had prepared a proposal routed to Bongo outlining the task force, which would encompass Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I am afraid of my life, Mr. Chair, and the life of my relatives and my friends and classmates. Leonardo subsequently informed me that they had prepared a proposal routed to Bongo confirming the task force operation, which would encompass Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. He also inquired if he and his classmates could have a courtesy call with the President through Bongo for a photo opportunity. Considering this, I thought it prudent to invite also my classmates to join the courtesy call. So in the presence of Colonel Bakay, Vilela, Grijaldo, Tuzon, and Dueñas, the member of class 97 and 96 were accommodated in separate rooms at the DPWH office in Panacan, Davao City. The President did not enter our room, and I was unaware if he visited the room of class 96. After the courtesy call, Leonardo informed me that the structure of the mentioned task force would undergo changes. In June of 2016, Leonardo has transferred from Manila to assume the position of the chief of the CIDG Region 11. During the initial 3 months of the assignment, I facilitated all meetings between Leonardo and Bongo at Leonardo's request. Subsequently, they established direct communication. Leonardo informed me that he had recalled several trusted personnel, namely Lester, Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, Palma, Peter Palungo to serve as operative for the task force. Notably, Bactat, Serbo, and Palma were, for now, discharged from the police service. Romel Bactat, Serbo, Palma were all former police officers stationed at the CIDG 11 office. They were discharged from the service on or about a year ago due to an operation that led to the killing of one individual. Lester Berganyo is a provide citizen, while Peter Paruma was a former detainee of CIDG due to a charge of rape that has been cleared. Romel Bactat, Serbo, Palma, and Paruma were charged with the task of collecting and verifying informations provided by police officers in the field concerning arrests, deaths of individuals named in the list of drug personalities, and creating summary reports. All of these reports would then be encoded and compiled by Lester Berganyo. The compilation is thereafter elevated to Sir Leonardo, who will decide what level the arrest or killing was and its corresponding reward. Rewards were only given for killings, while for arrests only for the funding of Auckland and refund for operational expenses was given. I saw how these individuals operated when I would visit my friend in CIDG 11. He conveyed that the task force would be structured differently and that he submitted a document to Bongo detailing the task force operation, including an overview of the current drug landscape in the Philippines. I was informed that the drug structure originated from Bucor, where numerous drug lords are currently incarcerated, and that it has 3 branches, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, with Peter Lim involved in the Visayas region. Once the task force became operational, I later learned that all compliance funds, refunds for operational expenses, and rewards for agents were processed through the account of Peter Parungo. Currently, Lester Berganyo maintained a comprehensive list of the drug personalities of the Philippines. Leonardo conducted briefings for all PDEA, IG regional directors, and PNP chiefs regarding the drug situation. Additionally, if any individual died during police operations, Leonardo will report the incidents to Bongo for inclusion in the weekly report and request for refunds of operational expenses. Leonardo had final authority to determine who would be included in the list of drug personalities and to classify their threat level as well as the discretion to remove individuals from the list. Furthermore, in 2016, while I was at the CIDG office following up the appointments of my personnel, I overheard Padilla discussing drug activities at the Davao Penal Colony with Leonardo. Padilla specifically identified certain Bucor officers involved in drug trade, notably mentioning an officer named Ginto, who was subsequently killed along with other Bucor members. These are the critical facts I personally know regarding the drug war of the previous administration. I am prepared to provide additional details and information in a supplemental affidavit or during an executive session at the discretion of the committee. I affirm the truthfulness and accuracy of the above statements. Thus is in the investigation by the Joint Committee, Your Honors.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, SDS.
Mr. Chairman, alam mo, papasalamat ako kay Ma'am Garma. And no, alam po natin ang nararamdaman mo. Pero kaya ako umakyat, nanonood po ako sa TV, sa baba. Mukhang itong committee na to parang pinilit ka para magsalita. Kaya ka umiyak. Baka sabihin ang QUADCOMM pinilit ka para magsubite ng affidavit at basahin mo. Umiyak ka. So gusto po namin kasi napakita mo talaga na kusang loob ang sasabihin mo dito sa QUADCOMM. Wala pong sapilitan at galing po sa puso nyo ang pagsasalita. So kaya po ako umakyat na sa baba ko, kausap ko yung mga ibang kasama natin. Ma'am Garma, alam ko naman po yung sitwasyon nyo. May nanonood po sa atin buong Pilipinas, lalo na sa Mindanao. Alam ko po kung ano nararamdaman nyo. Pero pakita nyo naman po, in the interest of fairness of every Pilipino, pakita po natin yung fairness dito. Kung titingnan niyo po yung mukha niyo sa TV, ang analisa po namin, parang itong committee na to, which is ako na bigla, may affidavit kayo. Kaya ako po sana, kung pwede, kasi hindi po naiintindihan yung mga binabasa niyo, yung mga nanonood. Yung affidavit niyo, hindi po naiintindihan yung mga televiewers natin. Kung kayo nandito, naiintindihan niyo, pero pag nasa TV kayo, hindi niyo po naiintindihan yung mga sinasabi niyo. Mr. Chair, on that note, kung pwede po, magpahingat siya, huwag siya umiyak, sabihin niya lahat in a clear reading, in a clear words. Ako po, I move sana para basahin niya ulit yung kanyang affidavit, Mr. Chairman. Salamat po.
Siguro, Miss Roina Garma, we will give you time to be composed. And we cannot blame you doon sa inyong emosyon. Ako rin, nabigla din ako doon kasi it's a sudden turnaround, no? From the last mga hearings po natin. And suddenly, we will be receiving an affidavit like this, no? Siguro, malapat lang kung sabihin natin sa committee to kung somebody forces you to execute an affidavit like this. That a while ago, the reason why we're asking Congressman Manuel to hold his gun, kasi nga I was able to see the affidavits and I really wanted to read muna for a while. And 4 pages lang naman po yun. So, nakakagulat din po yung nilalaman ng inyong affidavit dahil a complete turnaround. So, pero po bang pumilit sa inyo para i-execute itong affidavit na to?
Wala po, Mr. Chair. It took me 1 week to make some reflections po.
And what pushes you to execute?
I realize the truth will always set us free, Mr. Chair. And at least I will be able to contribute if we really want to make this country a better place to live and for our children. I think we have to do something para maibalik po yung trust sa PNP, magkaroon po ng reform sa PNP, and yung tiwala po ng mga tao, whether victims of criminals sa gobyerno.
Kanina po may sinasabi kayo na natatakot kayo sa buhay niyo at sa pamilya niyo. Saan po kayo natatakot?
Of course po, it's normal, Mr. Chair, when you speak the truth, you cannot please everyone. And it's normal to anybody to have that mixed emotion. But still, it took me 1 week to make reflections. And I realized I need to do my part po.
Dahil po ba sa relasyon niyo sa nakaraang administrasyon kay former president? Kaya po ang damdamin niyo po ay mixed emotion?
Normal lang naman bilang tao po, Mr. Chair. Pero what prevailed after a week of reflection is, I always say, the truth will always set me free. I want a better place, a better PNP, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Ma'am Garma, we are all on the same page. Kaya ginagawa po natin to para sa taong bayan. Maayos, yung PNP, mawala, ang extrajudicial killing, yung drugs. Kaya nandito po tayo. Yung sinasabi niyo po, we are totally agree on that. Kaya gusto ko lang po i-clear at sinagot nyo na walang pumilit, nag-meditate ka for how many days before you prepare that affidavit. Nabigla nga ako, ngayong QUADCOMM hearing na meron po kayong affidavit. So on that note, Ma'am Garma, pag-compose na po kayo, ayos na po kayo, pwede nyo po ulit basahin ang inyong affidavit. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. SDS, are we going to ask Ms. Garma to read again
Please, Mr. Chairman.
kanyang affidavit, no? We hope, kasi kanina medyo hindi ko rin po naiintindihan, no? Luckily, I was able to read na yung ating pong affidavit. So, siguro kung compose na po kayo, para po maintindihan, kasi napaka-importante po nito, no? Nung binabasa ko din po, medyo na-shock din po ako. So, basically, siguro, we will give you another chance para po mabasa itong affidavit as requested and moved by SDS Don Gonzales. So, now, you have the floor again, Ma'am Roina Garma.
On September 12, 2024 and September 27, 2024, I was invited to serve as a resource person during the recent legislative inquiry conducted by the Joint Committee on
Ma'am,
Drugs.
can you put the mic a little bit closer to your mouth, please?
Yes, sir. During these hearings, I was asked several questions concerning my knowledge or involvement in the deaths of 3 Chinese inmates at the Davao Penal Colony and the death of General Wesley Barayuga, all focusing on the alleged extrajudicial killings of the aforementioned individuals. I was also questioned about my relationship with the former president, as well as my career as a police officer and my tenure as the GM of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. Throughout the hearings, I answered questions from the committee based on my personal knowledge. However, I did so with great apprehension as I recognized that my statements on national television could significantly endanger my life, the safety of my family, and others close to me. After considerable reflection, I am now executing this affidavit to provide the comprehensive information to the QUADCOMM regarding everything I personally know about the war on drugs during the former administration. On May of 2016, I received a call from the then President Rodrigo Duterte at approximately 5 in the morning, instructing me to meet him at his residence in Doña Luisa, Davao City. I was already acquainted with then Mayor Duterte, having served as a station commander in one of the police stations in Davao during his tenure. During our meeting, he requested that I locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs on a national scale, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and rewards. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payments of rewards. The first is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. Third is the refund of operational expenses. Initially, I informed the President that I was unaware of any individual with those qualifications as I had not been assigned outside of Davao, nor had I served in a national capacity with the PNP. However, I recalled my upperclassman, Edelberto Leonardo, who was handling the Criminal Investigation Detection Group and was also a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo. I mentioned his name to the President. On the same day, a certain individual named Muking contacted me by the phone to request Leonardo's contact details, which I promptly provided. A week later, I learned from Arthur Narsolis via phone call that Leonardo had been summoned and was instructed to proceed to Royal Mandaya Hotel for a meeting. Leonardo informed me that he stayed at the hotel for 3 days, during which the President directed him to organize a task force similar to PAOK-TF. When Leonardo relayed this information and urged me to join the task force, I declined, citing my lack of experience in handling such operations. Leonardo subsequently informed me that he had prepared a proposal routed through Bongo outlining the task force operations, which would encompass Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. He also inquired if he and his classmates could have a courtesy call with the President through Bongo for a photo opportunity. Considering this, I thought it would be prudent also to invite my classmates, Bakay, Vilela, Grijaldo, Tuzon, and Dueñas, to join the courtesy call. The members of Class 97 and Class 96 of PNPA were accommodated in a separate room at the DPWH office in Panacan, Davao. The President did not enter our room, and I was unaware if he visited the room of Class 96. This is 96 or not 97. After the courtesy call, Leonardo informed me that the structure of the intended task force would undergo changes. In June of 2016, Leonardo was transferred from Manila to assume the position of the chief of the CIDG in Region 11. During the initial 3 months of this assignment, I facilitated all meetings between Leonardo and Bongo at Leonardo's request. Subsequently, they established direct communications. Leonardo informed me that he had recalled several trusted personnel, namely, I met Lester Bergaño, Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, Michael Palma, and Peter Parungo to serve as operatives for the task force. Notably, Romel Bactat Rodel Serbo and Michael Palma were all discharged as police officers. Romel Bactat and Romel Serbo, Michael Palma were all former police officers stationed at CITG 11 office. They were discharged from service on or about a year ago due to an operation that led to the killing of one individual. Lester Berganyo is a private citizen, while Peter Parungo was a former detainee in CITG due to a charge of rape that has been cleared. Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, Michael Palma, and Peter Parungo were charged with the task force of collecting, verifying informations provided by police officers in the field concerning arrests or deaths of individuals named in the list of drug personalities, and creating a summary report. All of these reports would then be encoded, compiled by Lester Berganyo. The compilation is thereafter elevated to Leonardo, who will then decide what level the arrest or killing was and its corresponding reward. Rewards were only given for killings, while for arrests, only the funding of the co-plan and a refund for the expenses was given. I saw how this individual operated when I would visit the CIDG office in Region 11 to see my friend Lotlot. He also conveyed to me that the task force would be structured differently, in that he submitted a document to Bongo detailing the task force operation, including an overview of the current drug landscape in the Philippines. I was also informed that the drug structure originated from Bucor, where numerous drug lords are currently incarcerated, and that it has 3 branches, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, with Peter Lim involved in the Visayas region. Once the task force became operational, I later learned that all co-plan funds, refunds for operational expenses, and rewards for agents were processed through the bank accounts of Peter Parungo at Metrobank, BDO, and PS Bank. Concurrently, Lester Berganyo maintained a comprehensive list of the drug personalities in the Philippines. Leonardo conducted briefings for all PDEA, IG, regional directors, and PNP chiefs regarding the operations. Additionally, if any individual died during police operation, Leonardo would report the incident to Bongo for inclusion in his weekly report and request for refunds of operational expenses. Leonardo had the final authority to determine who would be included on the list of drug personalities and to classify their threat levels, as well as the discretion to remove individuals from the list. Furthermore, in 2016, while I was in the CIDG office, following up on personnel appointments, I overheard Superintendent Padilla of Bucor discussing drug activities at the Davao Penal Colony with Leonardo. Padilla specifically mentioned certain Bucor officers involved in the drug trade, notably mentioning an officer named Ginto, who was subsequently killed along with other Bucor members. These are the critical facts I personally know regarding the drug war of the previous administration. I am prepared to provide additional details and information in the supplemental affidavit or during an executive session at the discretion of the committee. I affirm the truthfulness and accuracy of the above statement to assist in the investigation by the Joint Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Public Order and Safety, Human Rights, and Public Accounts of the Honorable House of Representatives, the QUADCOMM. Mr. Chair.
Tapos na po kayo, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, on that note, ma'am, maraming salamat ulit sa pagbasa niyo sa inyong affidavit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Gatchan.
Yo, what's up mga tropa pipso? Ayun po, napanood naman po ninyo ang pag-amin na yan ni Royina Garma. Tingin ko po lahat po tayo ay nawindang, nagulat dito po sa pag-amin niya. Pero, hindi na tayo mabibigla. Nagulat tayo kasi akala natin matibay ang paninindigan ni Garma sa kanyang kasinungalingan. Pero, nagulat tayo, nabigla tayo dahil pinagtapat niya na meron talagang EJK. For the first time in the history of the Philippines, meron pong umamin patungkol po diyan sa EJK. Maaring ito po ay makapagpasaya sa atin dahil tayo po ay umaasa na meron pong maging witness, merong mag-testify patungkol po kay Digong dito sa EJK. Pero alam niyo po, medyo ito po ay nakakalungkot para po sa mga biktima dahil talaga po pala merong reward system. Etong si Wesley Barayuga at yun pong tatlong Chinese drug lord, biktima po talaga. Pinatrabaho talaga ni Digong. So, paano pa niya ito malulusutan? Si Royina Garma na po ang umamin. Kaya pala ito ay nagtangka na umalis at doon naman nirahan sa Amerika. Subalit na-deny ang kanyang visa, kinansela doon sa Amerika dahil pala meron siyang napakalaking gagampanan sa ating bansa. Ewan ko lang kung pwede po siyang maging state witness dahil nga po sa kanyang nalalaman, pero 'di ba? Sana magamit din ang kanyang pag-amin sa ICC. Pakibilisan na lang po sana ng ICC ang kanilang pagkilos dahil eto na po si Royina Garma, umaamin na po sa kanyang mga kasalanan, umaamin na po sa kanyang partisipasyon at inaamin niya po na meron po talagang EJK, meron pong quota system, meron po talagang nilabag na batas, karapatang pantao, etong si Digong. Marubdob ang kanyang pagtatapat. Talagang ako ramdam ko, totoo ang kanyang mga sinasabi. Siya po ay hindi niya kinaya eh. Babae po kasi ito eh. 'Di ba? Babae ito. Ito ay siguro alam nyo yung dahil nga siya ay policewoman, kahit papaano nag-training, medyo matigas ang kanyang puso. Pero simula po around 3 or 4 third or fourth hearing, matigas siya. Hanggang sa 5th hearing, 6th hearing, hindi siya umattend. 7th hearing, ganun pa rin, hindi pa rin siya umaamin. Pang-8 po na hearing, ayan na. Umamin na po etong si Royina Garma sa kanyang nalalaman sa EJK. 'Di ba? Kasi po syempre babae po ito eh. Kaya po siya ay napilitan na ring umamin dahil syempre nadadamay po ang kanyang pamilya lalo na ang kanyang anak. Kasunod po ng pag-amin na ito ni Royina Garma, abay syempre dapat po na malaman at maibigay ang pangalan ng mga personalidad, mga kapulisan na nag-participate po dito sa war on drugs. Simula sa pinakamataas hanggang sa pinakababa po, kailangan po na talagang ito ay maimbestigahan, mapagbayad sa kanilang mga kasalanan, lalo na yung Davao Boys at isa na dyan si Bongo at si Bato de la Rosa. Iboboto nyo pa ba ngayon si Bato de la Rosa na malaki ang naging partisipasyon sa EJK? Kaya pala, todo ang kanyang protekta dito kaya Kerwin Espinosa. Kaya pala grabe ang kanyang paghawak sa leeg ni Kerwin Espinosa dahil isa ito sa mga pwedeng magdiin sa kanya. Eto na si Royina Garma, umaamin na at sinasangkot niya, tinuturo niya pati si Bongo, nabanggit niya pati si Bongo sa kanyang napaka makabagbag damdamin na statement. Iboboto niyo pa ba yung mga tao na yan na tuta ni Digong na naging dahilan ng sinasabi nga ni Bato na nasa 20,000 collateral damage. Doon pa lang sa tawaging collateral damage ang isang tao. Hindi na po yun makatao. Wala na pong puso yun. Kaya paano pa ngayon mananalo itong mga tuta ni Digong? Kaya ang tingin ko, nagpaplano silang dayain ng 2025 election sa pamamagitan ng St. Gerard Construction, ng Miru at ng Comelec para po makapagsilbing muli etong kanya mga tuta. Maipanalo si Kibulok, si Bato, si Bongo, si Ipe, si Marcoleta at ang lahat pa po ng mga kakandidato under the supervision nitong si Digong. Sana ito ang mapigilan. Kasi kahit ano pa po, ang isiwalat ni Garma, isiwalat ni Leonardo, isiwalat ni Kerwin Espinosa, kung mananalo pong muli itong mga kampo ni Digong, wala pong magbabago. Walang magbabayad sa EJK. Wala pong masisingil. Wala pong makukulong. Kaya dapat po tayong maging matalino sa pagboto. Kailangan po hindi manalo itong mga kampo ni Digong. Kapag yan po ay nanalo, delikado po tayong lahat. Lahat po tayo pwede pong maging biktimang muli ng EJK. Kawawang-kawawa na po ang mga Pilipino. Baon na sa utang na 7 trilyon kay Digong, tapos tayo po ay nilugmok pa sa katakot-takot na krimen. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat sa pagsama nyo dito sa aking live na ito. Sana ipagdasal nyo si Royina Garma, natibayan niya ang kanyang kalooban, mas lalo pa siyang maging matapang dahil ito pa lang po ang umpisa ng kanyang laban, at sana'y protektahan siya ng QUADCOMM ng ating gobyerno para po maisalba ang kanyang buhay at ng kanyang pamilya. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Ingat po kayo. Nasa mong panig kayo ng mundong momo at chup-chup. Love you. God bless us all, Pilipinas. God first. Alam nyo, mas exciting pa to kaysa sa season 2 ng PBB o season 2 ng Lavender o season 2 ng Batang Quiapo. Ito ang pinaka-exciting na season 2 ng QUADCOMM hearing.